When we are at work, we have specific hazards that we have to look out for as it relates to specific activity that we're working on. But a lot of the times, the overall environment in which we're working in isn't considered to be one of those hazards, even when it is equally as hazardous to our health, if not more hazardous to our health than the hazards in which we've already identified. For example, you can be exposed to heat stress indoors as well as outdoors, so it really doesn't matter where you are working or for that matter, what time of year it is. Firefighters are one who are heavily exposed to heat stress, but bakery workers can be affected, farmers, construction workers, miners, boilers, really nearly all factory workers or those within the industrial industry can be exposed to heat stress. But those of you who are either over 65 years of age, have heart disease, high blood pressure, or take medications regularly, or are even overweight, such as myself, can be affected by high temperatures, which in turn can result in heat-related illnesses. Heat rash, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke are all very real possibilities if you don't monitor your health and well-being when working inside of these areas where you're going to be exposed to elevated temperatures. And the levels and severity differ greatly from heat rash, where getting out of the heat, cooling off, and drying off your skin can prevent it from getting any worse, to heat stroke, where if you don't remove the person or yourself from the area immediately, contact an ambulance and get cold water onto and into their body as fast as possible, could be the difference between life and death. Something else that is worth mentioning is transient heat fatigue, and that basically means that the longer you become exposed to an area with an elevated temperature, your mental alertness can begin to deteriorate. Your task performance can start to decline. You become less coordinated, and you aren't as alert as you normally would be. The severity to this will be lessened by a period of gradual adjustment to the hot environment, which we also call acclimatization. Acclimatization. To ease yourself as much as possible into work where you can be exposed to heat-related illnesses. And once you do become acclimatized, why is that so difficult to say? And once you do become acclimatized to it, I think I got it. And you go on vacation or you're away for work for a prolonged period of time, it is critical to re-acclimatize yourself to work once again. Glad that's over. So let's quickly cover a few things that you can do to better help yourself remain healthy when working in such environments. The first one, kind of the most obvious one, drink water. And drink as much as possible 24 hours prior to knowing you're going to be working in an area where heat stress is a possibility. All of the water that you're drinking the day of the activity is basically just keeping your head above water. Pun intended. Also, wear loose-fitting clothing and lightly colored clothing if you are going to be working outside. Maybe I should have wore a different color shirt for this video. Get plenty of rest so that your body is well refreshed for the day's activities. And this is really just a good point for just normal daily work preparations. Also, always work with a partner. This allows an extra set of eyes to monitor each other's health and identify symptoms that need to be addressed quickly. But you have to listen to each other. If one of you says it's time for a break, take 5 minutes. Go find some shade, drink some water. Also, if your partner says you aren't looking too good, don't be a hot shot. Don't be a big shot. Don't be a hero. Listen to your partner and address the concern appropriately. Also, eat healthy. Eating a variety of fruits and vegetables can help aid in your hydration levels just by eating them. So making sure you incorporate this in your diet, in your dinner the night before, and even your lunch can help you as well. Just stay away from heavy hot meals, especially during lunch times, because that is just recipe for disaster. Listen, heat-related illnesses are a very real thing. And I know most of us shrug it off as not being manly enough to take the heat, but there's a big difference between trying to be Mr. Macho Man and suck it up to lying in a ditch dead somewhere because you didn't have the sense enough to take a break, cool off, and drink some water. Even if you know there's just a little bit of work left, don't push yourself. Keep your health and well-being first. Get some water, come back, and knock out the rest of the work. It could be the difference between going home to your loved ones that afternoon or heading to the hospital or even worse, the morgue. So for the love of God, take care of yourself. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care of each other.